Good evening, groovy citizens, and happy Saturday to each and every one of you. Listen, I don't know about you all, but my day has been absolutely great. I have been checking things off on my to-do list. Right now, it's 7 o'clock. Y'all, it's 86 degrees outside. I know it doesn't look like it because the sun's not out, but it wasn't really a bright sunny day today anyhow, but it is kind of muggy, which is why I have my AC on. But today has been absolutely phenomenal. Now, once I finish this, I'm going to upload this video, warm up my dinner, get my eat on, take my last pill for the day, and then I do have a couple more things on my to-do list before I go to bed, because tomorrow is Sunday, y'all. So hopefully tomorrow will find you all in somebody's church. If you do not have a church home, I invite you to come join us at the Metropolitan Baptist Church in Largo, Maryland. I don't know the exact address. I probably should, but that's neither here nor there. But you can Google it and look it up. We are on Facebook as well as Instagram and YouTube. Now that I've gotten that shameless plug put out there, I want you all to come on out and worship with us. Like I said, if you don't have a church home, our new pastor-elect, this will be his second Sunday preaching as our pastor-elect. So we're looking forward to a great time in the Lord. Now, let's jump into today's topic, which is, what do you do when you feel lonely? I'm not sure. This subject actually had come up several times in the last couple of weeks, and I said, let me just go ahead and talk about it and get it out the way, because there must be a reason why. And, you know, I think about during the height of the pandemic, when we weren't coming out like we are right now, and you had so many people in the house, and they talked about how lonely they were because it's just them. And so they had no one to talk to and that kind of thing. I'm thankful that, I am so thankful that, honestly, I don't get a chance to get lonely because there's always somebody around me somewhere. And I'm thankful for that. However, I do enjoy my quiet time from time to time. Let me just put that out there as well. But I am thankful that I do always have people around me. But for those of you that don't, and maybe you're going through a stage where you're just feeling lonely, hopefully something that I share with you today will help you deal with that loneliness. So what is loneliness? For the most part, it's the discrepancy between what you have and what you want from your relationships, says Stephanie Cacioppo, and I probably messed up her last name. It'll be in the description box. She has her doctorate. She's an associate professor of psychology and behavioral neuroscience at the University of Chicago. And she specializes in the study of loneliness and social cognition. So here's some things that you can do to feel a little less lonely, a little more confident, and way more connected. I have 13 things that I'm going to share with you, and then I'm going to bid you a good rest of the day, rest of the evening, and all that other good stuff. So number one, first of all, admit that you are lonely. The first step to moving forward is to get real about what you are dealing with and or going through. The worst thing that you can do is sit back and be in denial about how you feel. And I know people do it all the time. Why? Because they don't want people to know that they're lonely for whatever reason. They don't want people to know that. So they try to pretend like everything is great when in fact it really is not. So the first step is to admit that you are lonely. And then once you admit that, then you can start to really work through the process of why you're lonely. Sometimes, to be honest with you, excuse me, my eyes itching. Sometimes people are lonely because that's a choice that they're making. And excuse me again, because my sinuses are draining. Sometimes people are lonely because they don't get out in certain circles, or they're not part of groups where they can meet other people. So you just have to admit that to yourself. Now, I'm not saying you have to go out and yell it to the top of the world. You don't have to put it on social media, but just admit it to yourself that you are lonely. Number two, be realistic. Being realistic about how you feel is the first step to getting better. You can do everything possible so you won't feel lonely, but nothing will work, and you will have to be okay with it. So be realistic, like I said, about how you really feeling. Does being lonely cause you to have thoughts that you probably shouldn't have? Does being lonely, make you cry? Does it make you feel heartbroken. Be realistic about how you feel. So we're admitting that we're lonely, and now we're being realistic about how we truly feel inside about that loneliness. Number 3, don't deny how you feel. A common reaction is to tell others and make ourselves believe we don't need anybody. You will believe this for a while. However, in time, you will only hurt yourself. As people, we need people, and we all need to feel love. And that is so true. I'm going to tell you something. It does not matter. I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to say it. It does not matter how big of an ass clown you are. Yes, I said what I said. Everybody needs to be loved. Let's just keep it real. Everybody needs to be loved. And dare I say it, even Donald Trump. And I know a lot of people don't like him and can't stand the man, but everybody truly needs to be loved. So I hear people, I'll be honest with you, I used to be that person. Yes, I did. I used to be that person. I'm like, I don't need anybody. I'm good being by myself. Now, I will say that I do have moments where I prefer to be by myself as opposed to being around other people. But everybody wants to feel love. However, because if you don't love yourself first, you're not going to be able to receive love from other people anyway. But that's a whole nother video for a whole nother time. All I'm saying is that we all, as people, need to feel loved. We need to be loved. And even if you tell yourself that you don't need people in your life or you don't need people around you, you really do. Honest to goodness, you really, really do. Now, I will say this before I move on. Like I said, hunting, during the height of the pandemic, I was content. Netflix, and I watched so many series and shows and movies on Netflix, and I forgot I have Amazon Prime, so I have access to movies on Amazon. Honey, let me tell you something. It was me and some good old Pop Secret popcorn, and I was all right with that. Not, again, that I didn't have immediate family around me, but those times that I was by myself watching my movies, I was quite all right. But I digress. Number 4, pull out your journal. Take time out of your day to write down positive memories that happened to you throughout the day. Now, if you know me, then you know I'm always pushing for journaling. I am a serious journaler. Maybe I need to go to rehab for that. I don't know, and it doesn't even matter, but I love journaling. I love to write in my journal. I have a gratitude journal that I write in every single day, and it really is. I got these from, I want to say it was Michael's. Might have been Hobby Lobby, but I believe it was Michael's. And they're 3 6x9 books that have an M on it, of course, my initials. And so one of them, I said, you know what? I was trying to figure out what I was going to use it for. So I said, I'm going to use this to create a gratitude journal. So every day before I go to bed, I have to write down something that I'm grateful for. And so this is why I just love journaling. So this is the time when you're feeling lonely, pull out your journal and write down a something that you're grateful for, but you could write down a great memory that you experienced during the course of the day. It could be that you saw a mother and her children bonding, and that just put a smile on your face. That's a great memory. So why not write that down? It may not be your memory, but it is a memory nonetheless. It might be that you got a phone call from a family member that you haven't heard from in years. If you all had a great conversation, excuse me, that's something great to write down. Now, with the phone call, you don't have to go into vivid details about everything you talked about. But, just write down, hey, got a call from Cousin Cecil or Aunt Ethel or Uncle Joe, and it was great connecting with them, or something similar to that. But just pull out your journals. Number 5, smile more. So take time out of your day to make someone smile. Don't forget to smile as well. It is always a blessing, I think, when you can put a smile on somebody's face. Sometimes just holding a door open for someone puts a smile on their face. Sometimes saying something nice to someone puts a smile on their face. And I don't know about you, but if you've ever had a time where your day just wasn't going that well, and somebody said something or did something that made you smile, whatever that negative thing was, honey, just goes out the window, and you just take on a whole new feeling. You just feel so much better. So I want to encourage you all to smile more, as well as work on putting a smile on somebody else's face, because you never know who needs it. Number 6, write in your gratitude journal. So there's a saying that says gratitude turns what we have into enough. I don't know about you, but that's a shout moment right there. I'm gonna say it one more time. Gratitude turns what we have into enough. When you get into a negative headspace, that's the time to pull out your gratitude journal. Writing will take your mind off the negative space that you're in and put you into a positive one. So I talked about pulling out your journal, and that's just writing down some good memories, period. But specifically, I'm telling you also, make sure you have a gratitude journal, because when you are grateful for what you have, oh honey, it's enough. And the thing is before you acknowledge that you're grateful for having that thing, you didn't think about it that way. You thought, oh God, all I have is ABCXYZ. But when you're writing that thing down in your great gratitude journal, and you're saying, Lord, I thank you for, and you list whatever that thing is, it becomes more than enough. That'll shout you right there. Number 7, volunteer your time. Loneliness isn't dangerous by itself. It's what we do with it and how we recover that can be dangerous for our physical and mental health. And this is a quote by the doctor that I mentioned when I first opened the video. Again, I'll have this in the description box, but let me say that one more time. Loneliness isn't dangerous by itself. It's what we do with it and how we recover that can be dangerous for our physical and mental health. So you can use your time working with seniors at a soup kitchen, your local shelter, etc., etc., etc. But how you choose to use your loneliness really does make a difference. So you may say, well, if I'm sitting in my house, I'm lonely, because you have nobody to talk to. There's nobody there but you. Now, you could always talk to God, but I mean, if you want somebody that's going to verbally, like I'm talking to you, talk back, you need somebody else in that room with you. But if you don't have that, then I want to encourage you to go out and volunteer your time. Spend time with people who have nobody just like you. And guess what? What you'll have is a whole bunch of people who need each other. You know, there's a song that I like, and I can't think of the artist of this song, but it says, I love you. I need you to survive. The song says, I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you and I need you to survive. And the reality simply is we need each other to survive. So if you think that you can, and well, you know, let me not say that, because some people have done it where they have gone off to some secluded island by themselves and they've been there for years and now crusty old people, but they're still alive. So it's possible, but why would you want to live that way? Unless that's just something you really want to do. Otherwise, we need each other. Number 8, get a pet. Interacting with animals has the power to release dopamine in the brain, which is associated with pleasure and rewards. So if you're one of these people that you don't have anybody in your life, I would encourage you to get a pet. Now, I will say this. I have, like I said, I've always had people in my life, but having a pet is just something that just hits different when you have a pet. One of the pets that I've had that I love all my pets, don't get me wrong. We had a Rottweiler. We had a German Shepherd. What the heck is that? A German Shepherd mixed with Husky. Beautiful dogs. And I had a black lab. My lab truly felt what you were feeling. If you felt down and out, that lab was right there with you. Anytime I didn't feel good, King, that was his name, God rest his soul, he was always right there. Always right there. Whereas my Rottweiler, you know, if you ain't had no food, Rusty was like, look, I'll be back later on. I ain't got time to sit with you right now. You know what I'm saying? Not that he didn't love you and care about you. He just loved differently. So I want to encourage you to get a pet if you can. If you can, get you a pet. Now, depending on where you live and how much work it's going to take, you might not necessarily want to get you a big dog, because we've always had big dogs. But if you want to just get you, because I'm seeing a lot of people these days with little lap dogs, get you one of those. Having a pet just gives you somebody else to be around you, somebody that's just, yeah, let me say this and I'm gonna move on. You ever come home and you could just be gone maybe 15-20 minutes, and when you open that door, that dog is right there to greet you at the door. They're jumping on you. They're so excited to see you. They act like they haven't seen you in days, and they just saw you probably 15-20 minutes ago. But that's one of the beautiful things about having a pet. They truly love you, and they truly care about you. And they want to stick to you like glue. Most of them do anyway. So get you a pet if you don't have one. Number 9, join a club or take classes. So you can go to www.meetup.com and find clubs to join. And if the club that you're interested in doesn't exist, guess what? Create it. I forgot how I ended up learning about meetup.com, and it's not a dating site, okay, just so you know. Meetup.com, like I said, there are so many different clubs. If you're into hunting, if you're into concerts, if you're into dinner theater, if you're into writing, if you're into sports, if you're into speaking, whatever it is that you're into, knitting, crochet, whatever it is, grandma's clubs, grandpa's clubs, you have people that are retired, any kind of club you can think of, you go to meetup.com, it is on there. And you have the option of joining a club. There's plenty in your area, every area, to be honest with you. But like I said, if there's nothing there that you're looking for, create your own club. How awesome and amazing would that be? Number 10, create a schedule and stick with it. So it's hard to feel alone when you have a plan and a purpose. I don't know about you all, but I create my to-do list every evening before I go to bed. Now, on those rare occasions that I'm tired, I probably don't. I do it first thing in the morning. And it's not that I'm a narcissist or something, and I need to be able to count for my time every step of the day. I used to be that person, I won't lie. But now it's just because I need to know what it is that I need to do. We all have the same 24 hours, but I need to know within that 24 hours, I need to accomplish 10 different things on that to-do list. And I want to make sure everything gets done, because let's just face it, we all have stuff to do. We all have busy days, busy schedules. And if you're not careful, things fall through the cracks because you just have so many things to do. And if you're like me, you get ready to go to bed, and you go, oh God, I forgot I'm supposed to do ABCXYZ. This is why I keep a to-do list, so I can just check it off as I go along. Number 11, take a walk. A few minutes outside can stop your mood from getting worse, even if you don't interact with anyone. It's just about being outside, you know, listening to the birds and watching the wildlife. If you live in an area where you might see deer or foxes in the evening, or whatever it is you see, elk, whatever it may be, it's just about being outside and seeing people. It's like when I go to my sister's neighborhood, which is where I was coming from before I did this video. And I love the fact that as I'm driving through her neighborhood, her neighbors are always speaking. Now, I don't know those people. They don't know me. But you drive by. Matter of fact, I saw the one guy today, and he's always out getting his walk in, and he waves, and I wave right on back. But it's just about being out and interacting with others. Number 12, pick up the phone. When you feel lonely, pick up the phone and call someone you love and who cares about you. Make sure you're ready to hear and listen during the conversation. One thing that I cannot stand is for somebody to pick up the phone and call me, and you're having these sidebar conversations with people in the background. I don't know who those people are. It doesn't even really matter. I feel like this. When I'm getting ready to get on the phone, I will let people know, hey, look, I'm getting ready to get on the phone. I'll be on the phone for about an hour. So give me an hour before you start yelling up the stairs, calling my name, since you obviously can't see me because I'm upstairs in my room. So again, when you feel lonely, pick up the phone and call people. Do you realize how many times people sit back and they want folks to call them? No, you pick up the phone and call people. And I was specific about when I said picking up the phone, calling someone that you love and who cares about you, because the other thing that's horrible is for you to pick up the phone and call somebody that doesn't give a daggone about you. And chances are when you call them, they're like, oh God, what do they want? So no, call someone that loves you, cares about you, you feel the same for them. Be ready to listen and to hear what other people have to say, because here's the other thing. While you're calling, because you're a little on the lonely side, and it's all right, that person that you're calling may just need that conversation. So make sure you have time, not just to share whatever it is that you want to talk about, but also you have time to hear what they have to say as well. Number 13, don't try to busy yourself. Actually, this is my last one. Don't try to busy yourself. Don't try to run away from loneliness by taking on busy stuff such as a second job, extra hours at work, etc., etc., etc. Doing this may help you forget that you are lonely for a while, but you will end up feeling worse in the end. So the key is making sure you slow down and focus on something you really love or something you've always wanted to do but never took the time to do. Again, the worst thing that you can do when you're feeling lonely is to busy yourself so that you don't have to worry about being lonely. Stop busying yourself. Find things that you truly want to do. So for me, if I were just trying to busy myself to give myself something to do, it would probably be cutting the grass. Now, I don't cut the grass, but I'm just saying it's not something I want to do, but I'm just doing it just to keep myself busy. So I don't do things like that. If I'm feeling lonely or I feel like that, I got to get up and find something to do, I always make sure it's something that I truly want to do. I'm spending time on my business. I'm spending time researching topics to talk about. I'm spending time researching topics that I want to do a workshop on, which, you guys, I'm so excited because come the fall, I'm really getting into my workshops. I'm really, really, really super excited about that. But I digress. Spending time doing things that you truly want to do. And this lady better not get that close to my truck, because Lord knows. I digress. Spending, what was I talking about? Oh, we're talking about not trying to busy yourself. That's the worst thing that you can do. If you're going to do something, make sure it's something that you truly want to do. Not you're just doing it because you're trying to keep yourself busy. Because I'd rather just sit and flick the TV if that's all I'm going to do. So, you guys, that's it. That's all I have. Today's topic, we talked about what do you do when you're feeling lonely. And like I said, just get involved. If you are at a place where you're just feeling lonely, maybe you're an empty nester because your kids, your child and or your children have grown up. They've gone off to school. They have their own place. You know, maybe you don't have a spouse or a significant other. You don't have to be lonely. In my opinion, if you're lonely, it's because you choose to be. Because there's so many ways that you can meet people. And I'm not talking about meeting people to go out on dates and things. I'm talking about just meeting people to hook up with and have friends with. You know, you can do that with your coworkers. Not really a big fan of that. But, you know, I love my coworkers. Don't get me wrong. I love them dearly. We just don't hang out after work. And that's okay. But if you are a member of a church, you have a church family, get involved, become part of a ministry. That way you have stuff to do. We have various, we have 60 some ministries, I believe, at my church. One of them is our food pantry. You have people that once a month they go out and deliver groceries to people who are in need or those that can't come to the church and pick them up. We have a youth ministry. So if you have been called to work with youth, hey, there's your ministry. We have a women's ministry. And as we say, if you're a woman in Metropolitan, you're part of the women's ministry. We have a men's ministry. Same thing there. If you're a man in the church, you're part of that ministry. We have an AV ministry. We have several different choirs. We have pastors' partners. We have, Lord, it's too many for me to sit and try to name them all. But the thing is that I'm going to say this. You may not agree, but if you are lonely, it's because you choose to be that way. And some people choose to be lonely. Some people prefer. There are times when I get in my own headspace and I need to be alone because I need to focus on what I'm doing. Like when I go in the house, as this video is uploading, I'm eating. When I'm done, I'm working on a cover for the book I told you that Ross and I just finished. And I need to be alone to work on that cover because I'm trying to figure out how to make the picture that I have work in the formats that I have to choose from for this cover. It's driving me crazy, but I'm going to get it finished because that book is going live on Monday. That's it. It is going live on Monday. And then I'm going to take a couple of weeks off and we're going to get into the next project. But I digress. Go out there, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And again, you don't have to be lonely. There's so much going on throughout. I'm here in the DMV area, so there's so much going on in the DMV area that you can become a part of. You just have to figure out where it is. As a matter of fact, as I was leaving my sister's house coming home, coming up Central Avenue, there's a ton of traffic trying to get into the Washington Commanders, the Redskins, or whatever you want to call them, into their stadium because Beyonce is performing. She was there last night, and I believe, from what I understand, she's there again tonight. Now, I didn't even know she was performing until yesterday. But there's always something to get into. You just have to figure out what it is that you want to do. And as always, if you're not sure what that thing is, reach out to me and let's have a free consultation, and I can try to help you figure out where your gifts and your talents are and how best to use them. Because I want you all to succeed. Y'all know that. Y'all are my babies. I love you and I just want you to succeed. And I don't want anybody, and I mean anybody, to ever feel like they have to be lonely. Because you don't have to be. You can have people around you if you choose. So having said that, that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for giving me just a little bit of your time to speak life into you. Again, go out there, enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your weekend, and find some things to get into. If you're new to watching my videos, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I do car conversations every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. That's what I was supposed to tell you guys. Y'all, the day got away from me yesterday, and it wasn't until it was about 9 o'clock, and I said, oh my God, I never did do my video. I thought I did my video yesterday, but I did not. So I do apologize. That was on me. I did not get my video done yesterday. So I was determined I was going to get it done today. But normally, like I said, if you're new to watching my videos, I do videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So come back on Monday where I'll have another motivational topic for you. If there's a topic that you would like for me to talk about, reach out to me, let me know, and I will do my best to make that happen for you. Because my goal is to speak life into as many people as possible, to motivate you, to encourage you, and all that good stuff. Because again, I want nothing but the best for you. If this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me, guys, because y'all know I miss you and I don't get a chance to see you. I love you all to the moon and back. You know the drill, you know the spiel. There's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, that you can ever do about it that will change it, because I love you all. And I want you to succeed. I know you can succeed. You have it in you. When, I love that song that says, he saw the best in me when everyone else around could only see the worst in me. Well, guess what? I see the best in you. And many of you I don't know, never met, probably never will meet, but I see the best in you anyway. Love you all, and we'll talk again on Monday.